Shalom, I'm Rabbi Jonathan Ginsburg of the Ezra Habanim Now's Township Jewish Congregation. This video is to try and help people understand Jewish talk. What do I mean? I'm going to give you some terms and how they're used Jewishly to help you pronounce them and understand when Jews speak to one another. First of all, a mashgiach. He is the guy who certifies that things are kosher. And what the mashgiach does is hashgacha. And when he does hashgacha, he'll give something a hechsher. And when he gives it a hechsher, it means it's kosher. Now, kosher means really that something is fit for eating, although it's used in a lot of other ways now in contemporary society. And the opposite of kosher is treif. Treif originally in the Bible meant something that was cut, but now it means anything unkosher. So mashgiach does hashgacha. He gives a hechsher to make sure something's kosher and not treif. Now, a moyel is the circumciser, and what he does is milah. When you hear somebody saying they're going to a bris for Ashkenazim or brit for Sephardim simply means a covenant. It's really a brit milah, a covenant of circumcision. Now a shochet is somebody who does shchita. Now in Judaism it's very important to learn to clear your throat a lot, the chuz. Don't say shchita, it's shchita. A shochet does shchita, he's the ritual slaughterer of the animal. A sofer is the guy who writes Jewish holy things, like a Torah, a Sefer Torah, it's the same word book, or a scroll for a mezuzah, that's a sofer. You'll hear Jews, instead of saying ufda, which is what Scandinavians say, they say oy vey or oy gevalt, things are not good. Now there's a lot of SH terms in Judaism, some are okay to say and some are not. A shlemiel and shlemazel. A shlemiel is somebody who just has really bad luck, and so the shlemazel, will drop something on a shlemiel. There are words you really shouldn't use. They refer to body parts, but now more they really refer to people that are not good people. The opposite of a mentch, which is literally a man, but a good person, is a schmuck or a putz. Probably shouldn't use those, especially in mixed company, but you're referring to somebody who's not a good guy, who's not a mensch. You'll often hear people use the word schlep, which means they're carrying something, or they're schlepping around. Shikr is somebody who's drunk, and so you see a lot of SH words. Don't use the word shiksa or shagets. They refer to a non-Jewish male or female, but their origins are creepy, crawly abominations, and so do not use the word shagets or shiksa. A goy in the Bible is simply a nation. Jews are a goy too, but when people use the word goyim or goy today, it has a pejorative, negative connotation, so it's better not to say goy, just simply say non-Jew. Now, what are relatives? Well, the Yiddish for in-laws is machatanim or machatanista would be a female, a mechutin would be the male. Machatanim are your in-laws. A goniff is a thief, from the word ganav. Lo tignov, the Ten Commandments say don't steal. Now, various terms for rabbis. Rabbi is kind of the general American term. A rav would be an Orthodox rabbi. A rebbe would be more of like the great rabbis among the Hasidim. And rebbitzin means the wife of a rabbi. Or I suppose nowadays, since there are women rabbis, a rebbitzin would be some form of the husband of a female rabbi. Now, in terms of kashrut, there are basically three terms. Besides treif, which means not kosher, there's milchik, which is something that's dairy, fleshik, which is something that's meat, or parv, which is neither meat nor milk, like eggs, fish, vegetables, fruits. Now for synagogue is a Greek word. You have shull, which means school, but the Orthodox mostly use that. Temple is a word that mostly Reform Jews use. The historic words were Beit Knesset, the house of gathering, Beit Tefillah, the house of prayer, Beit Midrash, the house of study. Now for praying, people will say daven, which means to pray, bench, which is a Yiddish word for bless, or let's do birkat, refers to birkat hamazon, the grace after meals. Now there are various items of religious worship, and I have YouTubes on those, but basically tefillin are the straps and phylacteries, the boxes that Jews wear in morning prayer except the Sabbath and holidays. Talis is a prayer shawl. You hear Jews say Shabbat or Shabbos. They're both ways of saying the Sabbath. Shabbat is Sephardic. Shabbos is Ashkenazic. Yontif, like good Yontif, is what you say on the holidays. It means Yom Tov, good day. Or Chag Sameach is the day for the holiday, this festival days. Boker Tov is a word for good morning. There's a lot of names for God used. The main is Adonai, or Adonai, which is one of the names of God. Usually the four-letter tetragrammaton, Yud He Vav He, is used in the Bible. Never say Jehovah. That's, if you vocalize it, certain Christians say Jehovah. It's not a Jewish word to use at all. You'll often hear the word Kadosh Baruch Hu, which means the Holy One, blessed be He. The Bible also uses the word Elohim and El Shaddai or Shaddai, different names of God. You'll often hear in the synagogue, let's do a Misha Berach, which simply means he who blessed, and there's a lot of different prayers of Misha Berach, for people who have honors, for a bar mitzvah, for a baby naming, for people who are sick. It's called a Misha Berach, may he who blessed. The El Malei Rachamim is a memorial prayer, El Malei Rachamim. And there's a lot of words in Judaism based on the root of kadosh, which means holy. For example, the Kaddish, there are 5 forms of the Kaddish. They all begin Yid Gadal v'Yid Kadash. There's a half Kaddish, the mourner's Kaddish, the full Kaddish, the scholar's Kaddish called Kaddish D'Rabbanan, and a burial Kaddish that's very infrequently used. There's also the prayer Kedusha, which is in the daily prayers, sanctification of God. Kiddush is sanctification over the wine, and it's also now used for the food that's served after service, is usually on Saturday. Kadosh means holy. Kedushin means holiness, and it's usually the word referred to for marriage. And a Chevra Kadisha would be a holy group, a ritual group that prepares a dead body. All forms of the word Kadosh. Anyway, those are a lot of the basic terms that are good for people to know how to pronounce and what they mean. Hope this helps.